The heroic gear in Throne Liberty is the best gear that you guys can get, but there's a lot of questions regarding it. I have made a video already on heroic gear, but there's some misunderstanding that we gotta talk about, and that is especially the stats of heroic gear and what pieces you should wear, and if you should even use your Calantia shards to actually get your weapons and start working on them. And all of those questions I'm going to answer in this video, so let's just jump into it. Now, every Thursday, which is tomorrow, you guys will be able to do the raid again to get your heroic gear. On the last boss, Calantia, and last boss hard, you will be able to drop a gear piece. If you're lucky, you get a selection box, which is really nice, but if you don't get lucky, you just get any type of gear. Now, I've seen a lot of people asking me if they should use the gear, if they should sell the gear, if they should dissolve the gear, like what should they do with it, if they should use their shards to start buying their weapons, all that stuff, if you're playing on Hyperboost or if you're even playing on legacy servers. Now, the main thing I tell everybody is if you guys want to start working on your heroic, you should always start with your weapon, because the weapon will give you the best stats. Not only does it give you the best stats, it gives the best base damage, and you can imprint absolutely every single trait passive that you want into it. If you want to have a passive, this passive, you can extract this passive and put it into a different orb. Of course, greatsword into greatsword, SNS into SNS, etc. But you can extract and put anything inside of there. That's why heroics are so nice. So you can put any type of passive, so you should always get the weapon first. So, but when should you get the weapon? Now, I also tell people, if you are able to trade your weapon with at least a 4-4 and a 2-4, like half of the trades, if you have the lucent for it, you should start working on the heroic. If you cannot trade it up to at least halfway, you should not get it. You should just wait. And then you can either sell it or you can save your Calantia shards, whatever. If you drop the weapon, however, the one you're wearing, if you drop the weapon that you're actually going to use, you should use it, because you're going to save 100 Calantia shards, which is going to be massive. Because you're going to need a lot of shards, which I'm going to explain soon. But if you drop any other weapon, you should sell the trade if it's a viable trade. Now, there's certain attractive pieces that people are looking for, which is going to be the weapons, of course. The weapons people always look for the extracts. And it's going to be the chest plate, the cloak, and the helmet. And when it comes to accessories, it's the ring and necklace. People do use the other things, but they're the most attractive pieces. So what happens if you drop one of the pieces? Should you be selling the extracts to make some lucent, or should you wear it? Now, what a lot of people do not know and don't understand is when you get a heroic piece, the main thing isn't really the traits. If you have a good trait, you can sell it. But it is the stats of the item you drop. And what do I mean with that is, if you look at the helmet right here, you will see there's two helmets. My helmet's on the right. This is the random helmet. You will see the base stats of the helmet is wisdom and cooldown, which is good. Every helmet has it. But the other is locked. It's an RNG based system. Basically what that means is when you drop an item, depending on the stats that you get there, it's going to be massive for you. So the helmet on my right, you can see has strength, bonus damage, and dexterity. That has two really good stats and one okay stat. But sometimes you can actually drop a helmet with absolutely dog stats. And you can drop them with, every single one has different stats, but let's just use the helmet as an example here. If you go to stat conversion, you can drop this with max mana, melee defense, and range defense. Now, I'm going to be honest, if I dropped one of those pieces, because I did used to have a heroic helmet before with these bad stats, and to swap those stats over, you guys can see the cost, right? 800 unlock stones, 400 conversion stones, and 30 Calantia shards. These, just to change one stat. Like, you understand, it is extremely expensive. So what you want to look at, the first thing you guys should look at, because the other trait, which is going to be whatever, like my mana region, if I go the normal trait that we were used to, right? If I go to my mana region and I want to swap it, right? It's going to cost me 400 stones to swap it. Yeah? Maybe unlock stones if I don't have the trait too, but it's way cheaper on the normal trait. So you don't have to worry too much about the normal trait. What you always should look for is the base stat conversion. It is so important because it's so expensive. So what I did is I used to have this helmet. Back in the day, I used to have a different helmet, which was level 7. It has maxed out traits. I had all these traits, same as this helmet. However, the main stats I had here was like melee defense, magic defense, debuff duration, like horrible stats. And then I've suddenly dropped this helmet, level 0, and it was in my bag. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to transfer the old heroic helmet into this helmet because changing these stats are so expensive. I would never be able to change three of these stats. I would need like 2k plus unlock stones for one helmet. And remember, we're going to have weapon, you're gonna have ring, right? So you can see like most of my stuff has really good stats here because I always look at that. That should be your main priority. Today's video is sponsored by Eldorado.gg. You guys can use my coupon code SPIDMMO and check the link in the description. Now you guys know in MMOs especially, it is very hard to catch up. I mean, you get one tap by players. It's just whole hill to climb. Most games don't have these catch-up mechanics inside of the game, so if you're starting a brand new account, it is just impossible to get there, especially if you want to play with your friends. But with Eldorado, you can get an account safely, which is already geared, and you can already play with all the competitiveness and with your friends. It has a chat support 24/7 and 100% refund if it does not work out. So definitely check it out. You can finally just catch up in any games you play. They have hundreds of games to choose between. So if you are looking to play an MMO and you don't want to go through all that heavy grind just so you can have fun and play the game, it will be definitely a way for you guys to get into it. So make sure you guys use the code SPIDMMO. If you guys use the code SPIDMMO, you will get a lot of discounts, so definitely do that. And again, a lot of MMOs or games that you guys can check out inside here, and so many accounts who has like they have like insane amount of reviews. Like some people have like 30,000 reviews, so definitely check out Eldorado.gg. Link will be in the description below, and let's jump into the video. And if you do have a helmet and you level up, you can transfer it into a same heroic. So if I have a ring, I can transfer it to same heroic if it has better stats. You will get a little bit of blessing, but it's still going to be expensive to trade it. So the main thing is looking at that. That's why I tell people when they drop a helm or they drop a chest piece or whatever, and they get mana regen, people are like, should I dissolve it? I'm like, no, don't dissolve it. Always look at these stats first, because if you have really good stats, you might use them later. It doesn't matter what you get. Now, when should you actually dissolve, though? Because sometimes dissolving a heroic gives you Calantia shards, which can help you use here. So when should you actually use the dissolve system? Now, you should use the dissolve system if the stats that you get, these stats right here, if these stats are bad and you have like a really bad trait stat that doesn't sell, like health regen, you can look to dissolve it if it's not like one of the important pieces that you're going to use for your gear. So if you get like, for example, legs that you're not going to use, and they have really bad stats, you should dissolve it. That's the only time you should dissolve it. If not, if the trade is sellable, you should sell the trade. If the stats are good, you should keep the item, because you never know, you might need it later. Because what I suspect later is they're definitely going to add more heroics eventually. Not yet, probably like several months until, but it is definitely look for this because it is super expensive. The only way to change this to the sync start conversion is with these stones. There's no other ways to change it. So make sure you guys are making sure that you're taking a look at this. If you take a look at mine, my goal right now on my character is I have really good stats on most of them. I'm going to change the max health to dexterity, possibly attack speed 2 to wisdom. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to change the helmet, the bonus damage, possibly to either a heavy attack, and then I'm going to change the ring from evasion, because I don't use evasion, to wisdom. So I'm going to do a few changes. But imagine if I had to do like all changes. I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's impossible. You can't get enough. It's like 7,000 unlocks on it. No chance, right? But I just need to change 3 stats, which would make it cheaper, because I was always looking for the base stats of it. So if you do drop a weapon and it has like debuff duration and I don't know, like some other dumb stuff that you're not going to use, and maybe just wait, maybe get lucky next week, or maybe you can buy a new weapon or whatever, because this will eventually get super expensive to swap around. Now, when should you actually fully sell the gear? Now, I always tell people that if you do get lucky, because I would always recommend everybody, if you drop a heroic weapon or an accessory, which is a ring or whatever, if you drop a ring or a heroic, maybe even like the helmet, and you get the heroic stat, right? You get the heroic stat, which is this. Dex, Strength, Wisdom, Perception, Fortitude. You should always sell it. But there is one only reason that I would not sell it. If I drop a weapon, right, and my weapon that it's the weapon I'm going to use, it's a gray sword, and the weapon has 2 really good stats like Dex and Strength with a heroic trait, I would actually keep it. Because it is so expensive getting those stats. The same thing, if I had, like, for example, if I needed a helmet, right, and I drop the heroic stat, I drop heavy attack evasion or crit damage resistance, but the helmet also has really good triple stats, I would keep it. But if not, sell it. Heroic traits should be sold. It's the only way to make really a lot of lucid inside of the game. It's a very low chance because you need to drop a weapon or a piece people want to wear, and it's a 5% chance to get the heroic trait. But if you can do it, you can make a bunch of lucid. So always look for that. If you look at my Hyperboost character, we can swap to my Hyperboost character so you guys can see what my thought process is on how I'm going to be gearing up. I did not buy the orb yet, the heroic orb, because I know I cannot gear up the orb. I cannot level it up. I mean, I can level it up to level probably 9 with all the Chaos Prisms I have, but I cannot trade it. I don't have the Lucid. I mean, I have the Lucid, but I'm not going to use it on this character. So I cannot afford to level it up. Leveling it up, I'm going to make an updated video on it. I already have a video, but they actually patched it all the way to level up a heroic. So I'm going to be leveling it up on this character so you guys can see the process of how you guys can level the heroic because they did change it. But since I cannot afford the traits, I'm not going to get it. If you look at my shards right now, I have 86 shards. I can eventually get either the accessory, or if I do the battle pass, I think I can get the weapon. But I'm not going to buy the weapon yet. I'm going to wait for tomorrow, see if I get lucky, if I can drop it, and see what kind of stats I get on it. And then maybe I'm going to get the weapon, and then I'm going to put the Shadow Sphere passive inside of it. And then I'm going to level it up. Or even if I don't drop it this week, I might wait another week. Because at the end of the day, the prices are just going to drop, right? If you look at the prices right now on the orb, you'll see the extract is absolutely insane, right? So I will need unlock stones. I will need unlock stones. I don't know if I have any unlock stones. Let's see here. Yeah, I have like barely any unlock stones. So I need more unlock stones to unlock the heroic traits, because you don't want to be buying the trades. You want to use the unlock stones for the first trades if you start leveling it up. But I'm going to make a separate video on that so you guys don't have to worry about it. But that's just base things you guys need to know about the heroics, is always look for the extra stats, because if you have 3 really bad stats, your stat conversion is going to be too expensive. You will never be able to get the right stats on it. You got to kind of get lucky with the heroic piece, at least have minimum 1, but at least 2 good stats. On a weapon, you can get away with 1 because it only has 2. But if you do beast pieces, gear pieces, or whatever, you need to make sure that 2 of those stats are actually decent or good. If you have 3 bad stats, honestly, I would throw it away, and I would try to wait for a new one. But that is just some more news regarding the heroics. There's no way to sync it. There's no way to transfer tier 3 into it. Heroic has its own system with heroic growth stones. I'm going to make a separate video on it this week if I do get the orb, so you guys can watch that, and hopefully that will help you guys with leveling it up. But thank you so much for watching. Check out this video right here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.